Rugby is a sport where anybody can be a star when they hold the ball. The rules are simple. One player has to carry the ball past the goalpost across the field while avoiding the other team, who are allowed to use all their force to knock the enemy down. However, the player can pass to a teammate behind them or kick the ball before they are tackled. Unlike other sports, the game continues even when the person holding the ball is taken down. Kenji Gion is a short but feisty high school freshman at Kanagawa High School. Right after the school's opening ceremony, he meets the tall and timid Sumiaki Iwashimizu, and the two of them get an invitation to observe the rugby club. When Gion watches the match, he realizes that even though big and tall guys have an advantage, there are positions for people of all shapes and sizes. Immediately convinced that he has found a sport he can excel at despite his short stature, he signs up, though Iwashimizu declines. Gion is unable to accept Iwashimizu's excuses and drags him back into the sport. Their training becomes intense as they aim to become the champions of Hanazono, the National High School Rugby Championships. This story is about a boy named Tsukamoto who is physically weak yet mentally strong. On the first day of school, he gets invited by his classmate Kazama to a soccer match at night. While playing the game, Kazama finds a hidden potential within Tsukamoto. Watch him as he unravels his abilities to become an outstanding cheerleading runner. This anime teaches us not to give up no matter what, to not blame ourselves just because it didn't work out. You can call yourself a loser when you have the ability to change it if you put your hardest on the line. That is what it means to live. Tour de France is the biggest bicycle race in the world. Now, a new achievement is about to be recorded in the history of Tour de France. The top racer is a Japanese boy named Shinozaki Mikoto. "Why don't you join our bicycle club?" said Fukuzawa, Shinozaki's Mikoto's secret lover. Unfortunately, despite being a high school student, he doesn't know how to ride a bike. With no real idea of what the bicycle club is, he earnestly practices. After he overcomes this challenge, while he pedals along, something that was smoldering in his mind for 15 years ignites. "I want to devote myself to bike riding." Experiencing failure with his friends and rivals, he pedals towards becoming the top racer.
ゴールまでの40ヤードをワンプレーで走れるやつはこいつしかいねえ。高速のランニングバック、アイシールド21、フィールドネジセラ。
Senna is like any other shy kid starting high school. He's just trying to survive. Constantly bullied, he's accustomed to running away. Surviving high school is about to become a lot more difficult after Hiruma, captain of the school's American football team, witnesses Senna's incredible agility and speed during an escape from some bullies. Hiruma schemes to make Senna the running back of his school team, the Devil Bats, hoping that it will turn around the squad's fortunes from being the laughingstocks of Japan's high school leagues to title contender. To protect his precious star player from rivaling recruiters, he enlists Senna as the team's secretary, giving him a visored helmet and the nickname Eyeshield 21 to hide his identity. The Devil Bats will look to make their way to the Christmas Bowl, an annual tournament attended by the best football teams in Japan, with Eyeshield 21 leading the way. Sakamichi Onoda is a cheerful otaku looking to join his new school's anime club, eager to finally make some friends. Unfortunately, the club has been disbanded and he takes it upon himself to revive it by finding students who are willing to join. Without much luck, Onoda decides to make a round trip to Akihabara on his old, bulky bicycle. A weekly 90-kilometer ride he has been completing since 4th grade. This is where he meets fellow first-year student Shunsuke Imaizumi, a determined cyclist who is using the school's steep incline for practice. Surprised by Onoda's ability to climb the hill with his specific type of bicycle, Imaizumi challenges him to a race, with a proposition of joining the anime club should Onoda win. And thus begins the young boy's first foray into the world of high school bicycle racing. Yowamushi Pedal is first and foremost an inspirational story of the weak surpassing the odds and triumphing over the strong. It will not leave you with something you haven't already seen before, and while it is most certainly not deep or philosophical, it excels at doing what matters the most, leaving a smile on the viewer's face.
今のは悪くなかった。はい。
Diligent and methodical honor student Eiichiro Maro decides to exercise more during the little free time he has available because he's worried about his health. For this reason, after seeing a flyer, he joins the Southern Tennis Club at the beginning of his freshman year. During his free trial at the club, he meets Natsu Takasaki, another first-year student who is determined on becoming a professional tennis player due to her love for the sport. In contrast, Eiichiro's study-oriented life exists because he believes that it is what he has to do, not because he enjoys it. However, his monotonous days come to an end as the more he plays tennis, the more he becomes fascinated by it. Baby Steps is a story of a boy who makes the most of his hardworking and perfectionist nature to develop his own unique playstyle. Little by little, Eiichiro's skills begin to improve and he hopes to stand on equal footing with tennis's best players.
右、左、つま先からライズする。
Tatara Fujita is a shy middle schooler who has no particular plan for the future. He has gotten through life by avoiding any kind of confrontation and blending in with the crowd. But blending in isn't enough to get out of trouble as some bullies harass him for money. Luckily, he is saved by a man named Kaname Sengoku. Kaname invites Tatara to his dance studio. Although he would normally never set foot in such a place, Tatara is captivated by Sengoku's commanded presence. Granted an opportunity to dance with fellow classmate Shizuku Hanaoka, who often practices at the studio, Tatara realizes there's something about the idea of being put in the limelight and dancing where people will see him that keeps him coming back. With an earnest, passionate drive to improve, Tatara begins the journey into the world of competitive dance. With a straight pitch that completely missed the batter, Eijin Sawamura loses his final middle school baseball game. Frustrated by this defeat, Eijin and his teammates vow to reach the national tournament once they are in high school. But everything changes when a scout unexpectedly invites him to Tokyo's prestigious Seido High School after seeing the potential in his unusual pitching style. Encouraged by his teammates, Eijin accepts the offer, ready to improve his skills and play at a much more competitive level of baseball. However, now surrounded by a large number of skilled players, Eijin struggles to find his place on the team. He declares that he will one day become the team's ace, but it's only if fellow first-year Satoru Furuya doesn't take the title first with his breakneck fastballs that earn him a coveted spot on the starting roster. With the addition of these talented new players to an already powerful lineup, the Seido baseball team aims to become the best in Japan, facing off against a number of formidable foes that stand in their way. Hanamichi Sakuragi, infamous for his temper, massive height and fire-red hair, enrolls in Shohoku High, hoping to finally get a girlfriend and break his record of being rejected 50 consecutive times in middle school. His notoriety precedes him, however, leading to him being avoided by most students. Soon, after certain events, Hanamichi is left with two unwavering thoughts. I hate basketball and I desperately need a girlfriend. One day, a girl named Haruko Akagi approaches him without any knowledge of his troublemaking ways and asks him if he likes basketball. Hanamichi immediately falls head over heels in love with her, blurting out a fervent affirmative. She then leads him to the gymnasium where she asks him if he can do a slam dunk. In an attempt to impress Haruko, he makes the leap but overshoots, instead slamming his head straight into the blackboard. When Haruko informs the basketball team's captain of Hanamichi's near-inhuman physical capabilities, he slowly finds himself drawn into the camaraderie and competition of the sport he had previously held resentment for.
踏み込み腰肩よーし、
Makunochi Ippo has been bullied his entire life. Constantly running errands and being beaten up by his classmates, Ippo has always dreamed of changing himself, but never has the passion to act upon it. One day, in the midst of yet another bullying, Ippo is saved by Takamura Mamoru, who happens to be a boxer. Ippo faints from his injuries and is brought to the Kamogawa boxing gym to recover. As he regains consciousness, he is awed and amazed at his new surroundings in the gym, though lacks confidence to attempt anything. Takamura places a photo of Ippo classmates on a punching bag and forces him to punch it. It is only then that Ippo feels something stir inside him and eventually asks Takamura to train him in boxing. Thinking that Ippo does not have what it takes, Takamura gives him a task deemed impossible and gives him a 1 week time limit. With a sudden desire to get stronger for himself and his hardworking mother, Ippo trains relentlessly to accomplish the task within the time limit. Thus, Ippo's journey to the top of the boxing world begins. Thank you for watching my video about the top 10 sports anime where the main character is a beginner. Make sure to smash like, subscribe and hit the bell button for more anime videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.